Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 7th, the day after Election Day. So if it went your way yesterday, congratulations. And if it didn't, well, you got 2 more years of it. This is Lisa Copeland, and it's 15 Minutes of Fierce. How is everybody this morning? Crystal and Natalie and Christopher and Neil and Janelle and Nigel and Michelle and Trendy. You guys rock. How are you today? Um, I'll tell you what, today I think, is going to be the first day of the rest of our lives. First of all, no more political commercials. Thank you, God. I mean, nothing makes me happier than that. But I want to talk today more about, how to go from idea to impact. So I got to have dinner last night with a couple big sellers, very dear friends of mine that live out on the West Coast, Dan and Carrie. And I wonder if they're on here this morning because they're on our time zone now. Bill and Dodge and Janelle and Eileen. Anyways, but we sat around and we just talked about life and we talked about business and what are our big ideas and what kind of legacy do we want to leave. And, I think that is the best part about, knowing people and belonging to a community. It's like, how do we take some of our big ideas and create impact? And I got to know a little bit more about Dan's family and the beautiful cakes that his wife makes, and Carrie's running an empire at TrueCar, and but it's awesome, and I think that we don't take the time sometimes to really get to know people. I mean, we kind of know them on social media. Carrie and I serve on the board of Women in Automotive together. That's how we know each other. Dan and I we speak at all the same conferences, which is kind of how we got to know each other. And, but you build this community and you build this tribe of people. Lisa and Janelle, Anthony, yes. Anthony, I heard some stories about you and Dan and Mr. Lopes in Las Vegas. So it sounds like you guys had a good time. That was the conference. I flew in, I spoke, and I flew out. I was in Vegas for like 9 hours. That was it. And so, how are you going to, take advantage of the brain trust of people that we have? We were all kicking some ideas back and forth yesterday, and some ideas about business and some ideas about life and some ideas about our kids and what are we going to do. And, we live in a really connected society if you choose to take advantage of it, right? Just like all of you on here today, you guys all take advantage of it. And I want to see that community grow and that tribe grow. Tony, good morning. Ken Walls, how are you? I've been in your kitchen, LOL. Okay, that was a weird comment, but yes, you have. So, how do we continue to grow our community? How does iron sharpen iron? We were going back and forth last night, and we're all in the same business. We all work with auto dealers and auto manufacturers, and so we were sharing resources last night. We were, comparing notes, giving each other ideas about best practices, and, me from being a former car dealer, giving them some perspective about, what it is a dealer wants to see and doesn't want to see. When, you come in and call, and, just, sharing our knowledge and our friendship. And, I think it's really important that when we have the opportunities to connect with people. So, what are you going to do? I want to really challenge you. Mabel, hi, how are you? Zelinda, good morning. Glenn Lundy is in the house. I have some ideas on that as well. Well, of course you do. Glenn probably hasn't been to bed yet since he had a baby 2 days ago. Those babies are up every couple hours wanting to eat, but so what are we going to do to, the big seller community is really where we can all come together, in the big sellers private mastermind group. But how are we going to help each other's businesses? Dan Moore, good morning. I was just talking about you. You're on my time zone this morning, so I expected you to be on the show. What are we going to do to help each other in business? Because, it isn't anything that if I help you, it's going to take away from my business. Dan and I talked about that last night. We're sharing some resources on some stuff we're doing. And, and we could have looked at it like, oh, we're competitors, but we're really not. But, but so many times people think that, they want to hold all of the knowledge right here, and they're not going to share it with a colleague or with a friend or with a business associate, because in some way it'll diminish their business. And I am here to tell you it's exactly the opposite. If some of the people I just talked about called me and said, "Hey, Lisa, what's your secret sauce?" Which I did give Dan one of my secret sauces yesterday. What's the secret sauce? If it's somebody I like and respect, I'm probably going to tell them. Why? Because I want everybody to do well. Because when my friends do well, I do well. It just it's the law of the land. Sandy says, wow, oh, how honest, open-minded willingness. It's one of my core beliefs, and that's how the community grows. Right. And Sandy, you're very, very active in the community, and I see you in Big Sellers, and I see you giving back. And that's what, good morning, Aaron Sheeks. How are you? Yes, Think Tank, another one of my very good business colleagues, Aaron. Aaron and I do a lot of business together. And we pass a lot of ideas back and forth. And, I mean, yesterday I called Aaron about something and I said, "Hey, I got this idea. And what do you think?" And, he took time out of his busy day. He says, "You know what? I like it. You should do this. You should do that." And so, so it's also, it's giving people that matter, people that are in your tribe, the gift of your time and your expertise. Right? You cannot put a price tag on that. I can't put a price tag on being able to pick up the phone and calling some of you, Ken Walls, anytime I have any kind of anything, anything, that's who I call, Ghostbusters. But you also can't be somebody who just takes it. You've got to be somebody that gives it back. And I'm super excited just to let you guys know, I've been on this service called Binge TV for quite a while. And so I'm going to be connecting this show through Binge Television. So it'll be on like 50 stations on your Apple, your smart televisions. Roku, Apple, I don't know, it's 50 different stations. So as soon as we get the connections done, the show will be streaming on smart TV, which I'm super excited about. That way, you can have 15 minutes of Fierce 15 times a day, I guess. The same old show, but it's really, it's fun and it's exciting because I want to get the word out because we are better together. We are better together. And I just can't even imagine doing life or doing business without this group of people that, I'm going to be with Anthony and his team next week in Atlantic City. And, I'm flying in early because, we said, we're all going to get together because we got another project we're working on. Good Lord, if I had $1 for every project I'm on right now. Which hopefully all those projects turn into a lot of dollars. So don't get me wrong. But anyways, but we're all flying in early so we can sit down face to face and talk about a few of these projects we've got and how do we amplify these projects. And, again, all for the good of the auto industry, all for the good of each other, each of our companies. But again, I mean, this is this abundance mindset. There's going to be 4 or 5 CEOs that in Anthony's group next week that I'm sitting down with, and we're figuring out how we're going to work together on a couple projects. See, it isn't just, and what it is I'm going to bring to the table, what it is they're going to bring to the table, my connections, their connections, all of the above, because, business is not a solo sport. And if any of you are out there and you feel like that, reach out to somebody, reach out to your colleagues, reach out to your competitors. Back in the auto industry, when I had a car dealership, some of my competitors were my best friends. We would lie to each other. Chop Tobin would be one of them, the king of cars. In fact, I go to Vegas on Sunday. I'm speaking, and I'm going to have dinner with him. But we used to lie to each other. I'm like, Chop, how many cars you got out? He's like, none, whatever. And then, we would fight to the end. And then at the end of the month, we would close the month. We'd close the books. We'd call. One would have to congratulate. One would have to, say, I'm going to get you next month. But, those are the people that you can honestly be the closest with sometimes is your competitors. You know why? Because they're working just as hard as you are to be great. So why would you not want to align sometimes with some of those people? Become a brain trust, become a resource for each other. I have a very strong set of resources, but so do all my friends. So when you bring all of those together, aren't we greater together? So I just want to encourage all of you out there, if you to go find somebody, to go find, let's like maybe an accountability partner, in business and in life, someone that's going to help you and push you and kind of sit back at 10,000 feet and listen to what you have to say and say, you know what, I think you're wrong, or I think you're right, or I think you ought to do this, or, let me connect you to this person because this person can help you. I mean, I want you guys and ladies to take advantage of this community that we've built in Big Sellers. I think I'm looking at the names that are on the show right now. I think you're all big sellers. But push the group out to your friends. Push the group out to your people, to your tribe, to your colleagues. Again, that's why I put that group together. so that we could kind of get to know each other better, so that when one of us has to pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got this client, I kind of see what you do. Like I said, I do a lot of business with Aaron Sheeks, Dan. I mean, these are my people. I know what they do. They do what I do. And we stay connected through this social media, through big sellers, through a morning show. So I want to challenge you, everybody out there, to find somebody to connect to, that you can be a resource for them and they can be a resource for you. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I'm doing a live, I don't think it's a live, it's a webinar, but it's about, how to take your idea, take it from idea to impact. It's 11 o'clock. It's free. I'm super excited about it. We've worked really hard on bringing you really good and relevant content. You can sign up for it at befierce365.com/free training. I think we have about 200 seats or 250 seats so far signed up, but I know every single one of you. You guys, you have a big idea inside of you. You have a need for community. You have a need to connect, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't. And I feel like I'm the leader of this tribe, and that's what I want to really challenge you to do, is to go help somebody else in their business, or make a connection for them, or do whatever it is, because the universe will bring it back to you 100-fold every single time. Do not hold those connections together. Hey, Neil, good morning. Josh, no surprise there. Very grateful to be on your speed dial, Ken. And vice versa. Michelle, how are you? And I love what Michelle says. She says, together we rise. And, maybe you're not in the auto industry. I mean, that's just the industry that I happen to work in the most, but I work with a lot of different corporations, helping them get unstuck, helping them take their ideas to impact. I speak all over the world to corporations, to sales organizations. That's what I do. So if there's any, connection out there that you think I could help you with or help you make, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to try at least, and vice versa. So we got how many more weeks of this year? I think we have like 7 more weeks of this year. I want you to commit to make a big connection. And I want you to commit to start thinking about what it is you want to do in 2019. What are those connections you're going to make? And I promise you, in that big sellers group, in our big sellers group, there are people that do everything from every walk of life. And I turn down about 40% of the people that want to come in. First of all, they're spammy or whatever. I look at every single person because I'm the only admin on it. And I want to know that they bring value to our business community. But we've got real estate, we've got software services, we've got financial services, we got lots of automotive people, we've got people that work in high tech. We have all kinds of people in big sellers. Dig around that group, check out the people, and connect with somebody one-on-one. Bring value. You're on Facebook anyways. I know you are. I get that pop-up on my screen, you spent this many hours, and I'm like, oh yeah. But of course I do, because I do all these shows and stuff. But make a connection. Natalie Phillips, I love you. Great eye doctor. Good Lord. Natalie, I'm sorry. Ear doctor. And she's amazing, but she's also a social entrepreneur. She's fantastic. She has started a podcast. I mean, there's so many people in this group that bring so much value. Melissa says leaders create leaders. Absolutely they do. So anyways, okay, it is 7 o'clock, 15 minutes of Fierce. We're done officially. I'm going in to get ready, and I'm heading to Dallas. I've got a super big meeting in Dallas today. And if it goes my way, it's going to be really great. And if it doesn't, hey, I tried, right? I tried. And that is the attitude. Never, ever turn down a meeting. That's my one piece of advice as I jump off. Don't ever turn down a meeting. Take every single meeting, whether you think it's going to be of value or not, if it's pushing toward your end goal. Take the meeting. You never know. All right. Be fierce, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.